Check me out being the love doctor. A friend of mine sent me a private message asking me if I could give her some advice about some problems she's having in her relationship. And this is one of the oddest experiences of my life, because I don't really feel like I'm someone who's qualified to give advice. For the simple fact of, when you try and give advice, especially in the context of a relationship, you are making summary judgments about the overall situation, generally based on hearing only one side of the story. And unfortunately, that's no basis for making those judgments. So I never feel right when I do, but at the same time, I just can't ignore the potential of actually helping another person based on what evidence I am afforded. But there were some things that were just highlighted for me when I was giving her this advice that had never really occurred to me. First, so many people seem to want to blame someone when something goes wrong in a relationship, when very often it's nobody's fault, because these are issues of two people interacting. Far too many problems in a relationship are simply the result of the two people that enter the relationship not being able to divine the future from the very offset and being able to tell what issues will arise between them as people. It's no one's fault. Something changed over the course of the relationship, and so now suddenly you want to blame yourself? That doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't do that. If you happen to grow apart as people, that can't be laid at your feet, even if it's something about you that happened to change. It's okay to grow apart as people. In fact, I rather think that in many ways you should grow apart as people, for the simple fact that people are transient, and you should not stagnate as a person. You should strive to constantly be refining yourself into the person that you end up being. You should be always trying to change yourself as a person, not for the forcing of change on yourself, but for continuing to grow. And if the person that you're in a relationship with and you happen to grow apart from each other, that isn't a bad thing. It may be a very sad thing because you love the person and you would like to stay with them. You are very committed to them. But if there are things that have grown between you that you simply can't rectify, then that's okay. And more than anything else, don't blame yourself when something isn't your fault. Sure, there are going to be the assholes who just want to place blame on you because they don't want to consider the possibility that they have any responsibility in the situation. And whatever, who cares about them? But what I'm saying is that when you realize that you might have to break up with someone, don't start telling yourself things like how you feel horrible because you're going to have to break this person's heart. You aren't breaking their heart. The fact of circumstances are breaking their heart. And unfortunately, yes, you are going to have to be the vehicle of that because you are the one in the relationship who is realizing that there needs to be a change, that there is an issue that needs to be addressed, and if it rectifies itself by you having to break up with this person, that isn't your fault. Sure, there are a lot of situations where this is not going to apply. But very generally, I just see this far too often. And the thing that I see that makes me most sad when I see these kinds of situations is people who bide their time when they see an issue like this on the horizon. Those who don't take it as an opportunity to either grow their relationship or allow it to collapse so that they can get into a stronger relationship later on. You aren't doing yourself any favors if you just let the problem sit there in the background unaddressed. You have to, at the very least, address the issue, pull it out of the background by the scruff of the neck, and look it straight in the eye and address it directly with a full understanding of what the problem is. And if it happens to be a problem that can't be resolved and you two have to break up, I rather think there isn't even a decision to be made here. The decision is simply whether or not you are going to have the courage to do this now and rip the Band-Aid off fast, or simply let the wound fester, the elephant in the room that nobody wants to address. Address it. It sucks. It really does. I know, being an adult, fuck it. I'd rather be at a Pizza Hut eating some pizza with my family as a 10-year-old than having to be an adult making these tough goddamn decisions. But shit or get off the pot. I'm sorry. If you're going to be in a mature adult relationship, then when these issues come up, you have to address them. I just don't like being the person that my friends have to come to so that they can get permission to do something that they know, at least subconsciously, that they already have to do. I'll gladly bear that burden if I have to, but you shouldn't have to ask for permission for anything. And I'm not saying to just drop your relationships at the drop of a hat. Of course, give your relationship every chance that you can. But once you get to that point where there's a breaking point, there's something in the relationship that is making it so that you simply cannot be truly happy with this person, talk to them about it and try to resolve the issue. And if it can't be resolved, then all the better that you realize that there was a problem earlier on than not. Feel fortunate that you only have to go through as much pain as you do. There won't be an easy answer, probably. And that's okay. That's the way things are. But don't settle for the route that will only lead you to more pain, simply because it doesn't hurt as much right now. Long days and pleasant nights.